How is it? Is everyone good? Are you like? Thank you for standing in line. We're all very glad to see you. I'm glad people actually turned out. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, I don't want to talk about women's issues. So, as you know, we're here to be completely humorless and sap all joy in our academic discussion. Or not in yet. I want you guys to see the dirty secrets, which are up on the screen right now. Yeah, they can see the brand. So my name is Lindsay. I do a web show on thatguywiththeglasses.com called Nostalgia Chick. I'm like, woo! It's supposed to be like the girl version of Nostalgia Critic, but that didn't last too long. Does this work? Can you hear me?
My name is Elisa. I work with Lindsay on the Nostalgia Chick with that guy with the glasses.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie Shanahan, or I go by Katie Shanahan. I'm a comic artist and a cartoonist, and I'm here for today's discussion.
So, I've been kind of wanting to do a panel like this for a while, because I think that the rise of the internet has led to some interesting developments in gender relations and definition and all that sort of fun stuff, particularly in what women can expect when doing anything on the internet or in a social media context, be it gaming or cartooning or web series or anything that is, will have your name on it and your gender attached to it. So I found this video that I thought might be fun to start off with from this website. I like fatugly.slutty.com. So I think they had a very good summation of words to live by for female gamers. So let's see if we can get the thing working.
This is Doris. Doris is tired from a hard day of cooking and cleaning and just needs to relax. Doris wants to unwind and forget about the stresses of her day by playing some electronic television games. That's a swell idea. But wait a minute. There are a few simple rules you need to follow if you are going to play online and have a nice, civilized game. Let's get started. Now, the first thing you'll have to do is choose your name. This is how people all over the world will know and refer to you. Uh-oh, no, that won't do at all. A lady's name would be far too distracting for the other players. The first rule is, don't choose a distracting name. Now, don't get hysterical. It may be your name, but we want to pick something respectable. Now that's a swell choice. And easy to say, too. The next thing you'll have to do is create your avatar. This is a little cartoon character that will represent who you are. Now, Doris, don't you think that avatar might be distracting? Rule number 2 is, don't choose a distracting avatar. Have you thought about changing your avatar to something more respectable? Use this one instead. Swell. Okay, now you're ready to... Uh-oh, you'll have to be more careful than that, Doris. The third rule is... don't distract the other players with your voice. Now, this may get a little technical, but let me explain. You see, Doris, when a lady speaks, the sound waves travel into the fancy computer gadget, down the series of tubes, through the other player's electronic game-playing what's-it. Your voice now enters the player's brain and activates the area called the subcortical tissue for uncivilized profanity, insults, and demands, also known as the stupid. The stupid causes other players to say naughty things not suited for your delicate ears. Now, Doris, you wouldn't want to cause any problems like that, would you? No, of course you wouldn't. There we go. That's a good girl. Okay. You're all set and ready to play. Just remember the 3 rules. Don't have a distracting username. Don't have a distracting avatar. Don't distract other players with your voice. And remember, it's the internet. You can go anywhere, do anything, and be whoever you want to be.
If you're not familiar with it, the basic treatise of the site is to not get sad about idiots who are misogynist, but to make fun of them. Which I think, if you're going to handle it, is one of the better ways. So, I had a few other talking points that could be talked, but I thought that it would be more interesting if we kind of opened it up to a discussion. I feel like most people, when they go on the internet to do anything, whether it's partake in a big discussion or draw a webcomic or whatever, you're not doing it to make a statement, you're doing it because you like doing it. Then you just might run into some dumb shit because people are stupid.
And as a minority, if women are a minority on the internet, like any other minority group, when you get by the majority, they are expected to act as a representation of that minority instead of as a person who is just a person.
Oh yeah. No, I've got a funny story. I'll do that and then we can open it up for discussion. And the reason I want to tell this story is I feel like it's a really good example, even though this was kind of real life, because it was kind of in the workplace, but it took place online, so I think it counts. Alright, so, last year, I was, we were filming this web movie that we do, and it was called Suburban Nights. Well, something off the film like it, which is okay. So, we were filming this video, and one of the guys, Ellis, was talking to me do you remember that author who used to work for the website? And I was like, yeah, what about him? And he got fired for making up weird stuff and saying I honestly don't know what it was that got him fired, but I do know that after he got fired, I got a lot of people coming to me by IM, apologizing and saying, I'm really sorry, I avoided you, and he said some nasty stuff about you, and all of the girls, in fact, and I was like, okay, I talked to this guy 3 times maybe, so a year later, this guy, Felix was telling me, did you hear what he said about you? And I was like, no, guy, it's been 3 years, move on. And he's like, yeah, he was talking with these bros of his online about, because they like to crap on our website because, it's fun. And they told him about, they asked him, what was the worst thing about filming that first year anniversary? And he goes, oh, well, I had to dodge a blowjob from the nostalgia chick. Dodge?
She's just hiding behind.
Yeah. He's walking up. I'm waiting around. And they're there's a soccer pause. I only listened to it once, but there was this pause where these bros go, why would you avoid a blowjob even if you don't think the girl is attractive? And he said, well, I don't want sandpaper on my dick. Two things. One, sandpaper? Have you been receiving fellatio from cats? Two, has anyone seen the 40-Year-Old Virgin? Like, you know the scene where he's like, yeah, they're like bags of sand.
And you feel it, and it feels like a bag of sand when you're touching it.
Bag of sand.
And I'm like, there it is. That's it. You know, it's just like, in my experience, like, and it's funny, sometimes I'll tell people that anecdote, because I still haven't spoken to that guy. Sometimes he pops up and trolls with me, whatever. And I'll tell people that, and they're like, how can you live with that? Why don't you go out and defend your honor? And I'm like, it's the internet, man. That's what people, like, I mean, clearly this guy's a little exceptionally out there, but, sandpaper.
I know in the program it said something about if you show too much cleavage, people get out with pitchforks.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was actually a thing.
Well, that, I guess I said that because the very first video I ever did, I was wearing a shirt not unlike this, which, I guess this is kind of the clothes I wear. I didn't really even think about it, and I got so much rage about that. Like, you're just trying to get views, you little slut. And I was like, I was kind of shocked because I was like, that's a shirt I wear all the time. I didn't even think about it. I'm sorry for my dirty pillows. I'm gonna go cry in the confessional now. Yeah, swearing. I mean, this has since abated because I think, like, people that didn't like my show just stopped watching it, but at first I got a lot of pushback on swearing because I do it very dick to mouth. And I guess it's another thing, right? I don't really notice that I swear. I'm just like, yeah, motherfucker. And it's like, I mean, when people would hear that coming out of a girl's mouth, it would be like, no, like something that the brain just is like, wrong. And I would get a lot of feedback on that, like, you shouldn't swear. It's funny when Doug does it, but it's wrong when you do it.
Lisa, do you get a lot of hate for being made in time or just make that
Not that I've seen. I've actually been very lucky. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right places. You know, I don't go to 4chan.
Nobody goes. I mean,
those places that say about things, but no, the worst I've ever gotten was she overacts. You don't say. But I think because I get it as part of a character, I'm not trying to represent the average girl or a girl who you could know. Whereas where Lindsay comes from, she is she's supposed to be the female version of Doug, so she's supposed to be the nerdy girl who watches too much movies at home, which it could be you, so you want to watch her because she's like you, which is a lot of what internet viewership is. So people who watch Lindsay will feel more threatened because it's a reflection on them. Whereas when people watch me, unless they really are a super overly goth vampire wannabe who doesn't leave the house and just watches vampire movies all the time, they probably don't care.
No, it's about accessibility. That was a big surprise to me because I kept getting like all these like, and this is also since abated because I'm pretty sure I'm old hat now, but yeah, I would get all these comments like, oh my god, you're so hot, and everything. And I'm like, you have like, movie stars. Like, I found that so odd. Like, because I'm just like, I mean, I'm not ugly, but I don't feel like I'm exceptional in a world with like Megan Fox in it. And I found it odd. And we were just like, it's accessibility. When you're on the internet and you're a girl and they're just like, you're close to my level. I found that really Yeah. I tried. One of them succeeded. What's up?
Yeah, I'm just curious. Do you know about that feminist critic Anita Sarkeesian?
Oh, yeah. I actually
Yeah,
talked
you
to
aware
her
of what
the other day.
happened with her? It was all about that Kickstarter thing where she was doing this video about that she was going to do like a series about like female characters in video games, and she just got a huge backlash of like people joking, making misogynistic comments or whatever. So
Don't tell me I like something that's not right.
Did that upset you that this would happen, or what did you make of it?
How many people have not heard about this? Anita Sarkeesian, Feminist Frequency. Okay, so this woman has been doing these videos that are basically, it's kind of similar to my show, but it's a lot more academic. And she's not really trying to be funny. She's trying to, like, I'm going to talk about feminist interpretation, blah, blah, blah. And she did like, Smart Fetish Principle or the Bechdel test or, X movie or the Oscar nominees, whatever. She decided to do a Kickstarter for $6,000 to do a series on women in video games. And she would, and we talked about, like, I think this is bad, that, they've got big boobs or whatever the problem was. And, 4chan exploded. And that there was just this rage and this hate and these campaigns to get all their stuff taken down on YouTube, and they DDoS, how do you pronounce that? They attacked her site, and they found her address. And this happened to one of the girls on our site too, by the way, the address thing. And she was incredibly brave about it. She's still really controversial because every time someone posts something about her online, they'll you see this comment thread always includes someone like, well, she can't take criticism, or she, I disagree with her, blah, blah, blah. Which, again, is fine, but I was honestly, like, really kind of impressed by her ability to, actually stay strong and stay the course.
Make jokes and, like, pictures, people make pictures.
Oh yeah, someone made a video game about beating her face, and it's like you punch her in the face and she gets progressively beaten of her. And the guy on Twitter said he did that because she didn't respond to one of his comments. And whenever, yes.
I want to ask, why do you think he did that? Why? I mean, if we were going to psychoanalyze this person as much as you could based on this action, any thoughts?
Slowly.
He's lonely. Anyone else? Just shout it out.
Threatened.
Threatened.
Small penis.
All these things are probably true, and this is the kind of person, if we're just going to generalize, that will be negative on the internet in any case. To women, to men, to bunny rabbits.
Gay ones.
Yeah, because with an anonymous medium, those people who are insecure, who feel threatened, who are quick to jump to action, who normally couldn't get away with this in the real world can. So you get it defiltered. But what it really comes down to, I think, why we're here today is to talk about what to do about that when you are, as a woman, on the internet, in that situation, how to handle it, how maybe we can change it and make it better in the future.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of, there was a lot of out there, and I think the keyword for that guy was entitled. He said, I'm going to keep this game up until she responds. And I'm sitting here thinking, she has zero obligation to respond to you. I don't care if she's out there being like, having like, Hitler was actually a poor abused bunny rabbit campaign. No matter what awful shit she's saying in your mind, she has no obligation to respond to you. Nobody does. If you want to stay quiet, that's your prerogative. And I think, I don't know, like, I've seen a similar thing go down with one of the other girls on our site, that I don't think she was prepared for, in the gendered way it went down, how it all kind of came down to, you're a slut, you're a gold digger, like, they went after the gender part
think is why do you think it still comes down to oftentimes when somebody, like, it's one female on the internet, if they want to, like, really attack you, instead of it being, like, about your video or your something else, a lot of times they still go back to your breast showing or your slutty or something about being a woman, whereas, like, the male is more, like, about their, like, something, like, their actual work. Like, it still turns to gender, like, we should attack
Men are the default.
And I think with the internet medium, the reason you see that more with internet women than you see with movie stars or TV stars is that level of accessibility. That barrier between the viewer and the person on the screen is that much less, and they can feel that much more threatened. And if someone sees a woman who's showing cleavage and that makes them uncomfortable, they'll, attack her for it, whereas if they see, Selma Hayek showing cleavage, they don't care.
That's great.
I was going to say too, it's different as well because as a comic artist, I don't really put my face out there at all. I'm more an icon for characters I draw. But even so, if someone's going to attack you, or sometimes they'll attack me, it will be based on gender, and it's very odd that it's, they might not even know what it looks like, and they're going to start like calling you things they think are going to hurt you based on being a girl.
Comic book artist.
It's like if they like your work, it's like if I like your work, it's oh god, I want to have babies with you. That's so good. It's like, well, why would you say that? Just appreciate it as it is. This is how I show my culture.
Basically, it's they think that compromising your looks is the highest form of flattery.
That is all we care about.
I know. So, I mean, if you're walking down the street and someone says, "Hey, girl, you're looking fine," and you're like, "Look," and you're like, "Whatever, bitch, you ugly anyway." Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm like, why are you hitting on me if I'm so mad ugly? It's just their sense of entitlement.
Yeah, and the keyword here is entitlement.
Yeah, they think that is a word
To let go of, because everyone's entitled.
Do any of the three of you get feminists on your case for being the way you are, or are they generally on your side?
Oh, hold on, wait.
Feminists don't like your cleavage either, do they?
They're so angry.
No.
Like, I mean, this is like, there's the feminists, and then there's the, which one is, hold on. That leads me to another.
Cool bastards.
Alright, so, my boyfriend, Todd, he also came with that guy with the glasses. If you're familiar with him, you probably know he's not a big fan of Chris Brown. Chris Brown is kind of adorable. Nice of a human being. And, we found this, he made a video about Rihanna's S&M that, mentioned, the whole Chris Brown thing. And somehow or other, this person read that. See, it was like, her name is Charlie. She's not gendered. Her preferred pronouns are they, them. And then she underlined has, do not tolerate rape jokes ever. Because you were never, ever, ever allowed to joke about things. That's its own issue. So she found his video and, no, fucking no. If you're reviewing S&M and you make a joke about how Rihanna likes to be tied up and beaten, ha ha ha, I guess Chris got it right then, then you are a despicable piece of shit. What the fuck is wrong with you that you think that would ever be an okay thing to say? Fuck you to the 9 hills and back, Todd in the shadows, you're a piece of shit. What did Todd actually say? Todd?
Okay, I can't ignore this anymore. In February 2009, pop star Rihanna was viciously assaulted by her then-boyfriend Chris Brown, and images of her beaten, bloody face on the night of the attack were leaked to the tabloids and were very hard to avoid. And though Rihanna has stated repeatedly that that's a time in her life she would very much like to move on from and quit being reminded about, I do not see how she can release a song like this and not expect people to make the connection. I mean, even if I thought this song was good...
Well, he said a lot of things. Pretty sure he didn't say that Chris got it right.
I said that the fact that she was singing about S&M made it uncomfortable given her uncomfortable to listen to.
Yeah, he said that the fact that she was she was singing about a song basically saying I like being hit kind of was awkward given the history. So then this happened, and then there was, it kind of kept getting blocked. I don't know. Like, they don't even look. And, yeah, like, because I've heard in my case, it's more the, like, if I say, like, something's not a big deal, it's like, on Tumblr, someone else will be like, no, it is a big deal, fuck you. A lot about, like, I said something about Hindu conservatives, which, like any religious extreme, are kind of bad, and people don't really please for that. But yeah, I guess stuff like that. You get it from both sides, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Just that this person heard Todd's video one way, blogged about it, and everyone who saw it took it that way. It kind of got a following, and people will take that up and repeat it without going back to the source and judging themselves. And this happens with a lot of things on the internet, and Tumblr especially.
Tumblr is a feedback loop of...
So if you find something like this about yourself, say this was about Todd, say it was about you, what do you do about it?
Ignore it! Because there's nothing you can do about it.
You do absolutely nothing.
There's nothing you can do. Because to me, my best way to respond to criticism is to either incorporate it or don't. You know, if it's good criticism, I incorporate it. If it's not, I ignore it.
A lot of people would see this and respond to it and say, you didn't even watch the video, here's a link, you should really listen to what I actually said, you know, and that's understandable, but it will not work. It never works. It only makes it worse. The only thing you can do is to abide.
Okay. Oh, actually, that's it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
Going back to the you can't swear you're a girl. Do you find as celebrities now that you're always watching over your shoulder what you do, what you say, or are you like, screw that, I'm gonna be me?
No, I find that I do it less. Like I care less what people think as the more I do it, because I think that is, if you guys take anything away from this, is like if you're doing anything on as a girl on the internet, you need a thick skin. It's just part of the territory. Yeah, I mean, either you hide your gender or you have thick skin. And but I guess since like my views were enough that the more honest I was, the higher they were. And I still get a lot of people that are like, I liked you better before you got all analytical. And I'm like, well, okay, but I feel more honest this way. So yeah, it was addictive.
Do you consider yourselves feminists? Like, I think a lot of people might not, might shy away from calling themselves feminists because there's a lot of negative,
It's got a bad rep, especially on the internet. Yeah, insofar as I like having a job, and I feel like people kind of misrepresent, like, being a feminist doesn't mean no one ever opens the door for me. It just, you just want to be treated equally for doing your thing. And whenever people like, I hate literally towards when I'm not a feminist, like, no, actually you are. You're just shying away from that word because you're rushing about being a nerd.
Yeah, as I understand it, it's being treated equally. But I just talk to a lot of people. It's like, oh no, I don't hate men.
Yes, that is what feminism is. We get together on the weekends, paint targets over men's faces, and food them. And then curse the patriarchy because we are oppressed.
I guess when it comes down to it, just trying to explain that to someone when they react that way too. It's like, no, it's not what you
Yeah, I mean, like, modern feminism is not an extreme. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's almost kind of like a belief system that it's different for every person. Everyone has like a different threshold. But yeah, I guess. But I kind of feel like most people are feminists, whether they admit it or not.
I think a lot of people think that there's no reason for it anymore, and that everything
that
is
bullshit.
equal. But
Tell your friends
friends, that's bullshit.
I'm sure my question is for Eliza. Before you did Maven, you were mostly known as the makeover fairy. It's not the best example of a female character. And did that have an impact on how you were perceived or how people reacted?
Not really. I mean, playing a character like that for the sake of comedy. Oh,
I'm more surprised to find out you're offensive.
maybe that's true, but like people never thought of me. I don't think anybody thought I was stupid because I think they thought it was funny, and you know, it takes a certain measure of intelligence to be funny. But you know, with playing a character like that, we're making fun of it, whereas we're not glorifying that kind of character. That the makeover fairy was never shown as ideal. Pretty girls don't read.